30 degrees, fault lead fishery, prolific lake. Most people wouldn't even be out carp fishing in this weather. Mad really, isn't it? Because they can be caught. I mean, we catch them when it's nearly frozen, so you can catch it when it's like this. But most people would imagine these fish are uncatchable in this heat, or a little bit more difficult than when the weather's bang on for it. We've got 24 hours ahead of us. We're going to show that it is worth coming in these conditions. We've picked the swim correctly. We've got peg 45 on fault lead fishery at Chertsey. It's a very prolific venue. While we come here fishing, it's enjoying yourselves. Now in this swim, excuse me, we've got 15 foot of water up to about 75 yards out. Then it lifts straight up to 4 foot, which shows again, we'll go through all this as we get on in the day, the importance of accuracy, repeatedly at the same spot, the spod, the leads and everything. We've had one already, first chuck, 4 foot of water as I say. Also in this peg, we've got a lovely little island to the right hand side. 11 foot of water off the side of it, so that's not even going to come into play till this evening probably. We'll have a little bit of surface fishing off of that. See how the day evolves. We'll get him out now, have a little look at him, slip him back then, and readdress them rods. Well, there she is. First one of the trip. Hopefully not the last. We'll do our best. Typical stamp of fish for here. Upper double. Nice clean mirror. We'll get him back and then we'll go through what we're going to do for the rest of the day. Right, I stuck a dozen spods out there this morning. I'll just start by saying I found that it's a 4 foot plateau out there, as I said, at 80 yards. So it's 20 wraps around the yardsticks. Clip the spod to it, clip both rods to it, marking everything up so it's all ready, and a third rod so when we get a fish we can keep it going. So I'm going to stick a few more spods out there now. So I've done a dozen earlier. It's a really basic spod mix, 2 types of pellet and our Sonia baits, tins of hemp and corn. So nice and basic, you don't have to confuse these things. They are carp. Let's not go silly with recipes. Another dozen spods now, see if we can't get a bit more interest out there. So we've only been fishing like 20 minutes, so to have got one. So it is fault lead and it is very prolific. And there you go, there's another one. So I'm going to put that down over there. As soon as that spot hit the water, right, just before I rechuck this rod, just show you how simple the setup is for this type of fishing. 20 pound pin down hook link, nice little hook, tiny little pop up there, but just about balances down with our pink sight stops, gives it a little flash of colour, flat lead safety clip in case we get hung up on the gravel out there, which was we said earlier, which is what we're fishing on, and a 3.5 ounce bomb. How much more simple do you want it than that? If you confuse yourself, not the carp. So we've got a bag in the pocket, there we go, nice little bag of pellet which helps the rig not tangle and gives it that puff of attraction around it. Well, that is day ticket fishing. Let's get it back out there and hopefully next time you see that little pink thing it'll be hanging off the lip of a mirror carp. Right, here we go, 80 yards onto the shallow. Very important you hit the clip, pulls the rod round like so, lays the line flat, bang on. Absolutely perfect that was, and why wouldn't it be? Well, we're off again. fantastic sport today. I don't know how many we've had. Lots. They're just going on, you know, start spodding and you get a bite. It's brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant. It's just gone round the other line, bless it. What a lovely day though. I think we're on about 20 out of 29 degrees. We're catching carp off the bottom and it's brilliant. It's fishing. They've all been mainly mid-doubles, powerhouses, little things that fight every inch of the way, and that's what we want. But God forbid you drop short of your markers and you're in that deep water, because you wouldn't have had one bite today. So again, a little bit of homework, a little bit of extra attention, and you get lots of bites. Well, what fun! The carp fishing and getting a tan. All we need now is some lollipops. Ice cream. He's made his way right up to that island there in the deep water. Lovely. There's nothing out here other than hook pulls, which happens occasionally, to worry about. In all fairness to the guys, all the overhangs are trimmed. No snags whatsoever. And there we are. Let's hope it don't fall off. Bar it falling off, it's another sort of mid to upper double. But there are no prizes for losing them. Now again, and I know I'm boring you, I keep saying this, but the importance of accuracy has never been more so than in a peg like this. You know, the depth difference between 15 feet and 4 foot within 4 or 5 yards is incredible, and that means loads of bites like this or none, because you would get none. So you've got to wrap it round them. You find your area, clip your float up, wrap it round the yardsticks, marker knots, spod 2 rods, and you're away. You know, that extra, what's it, half hour in the morning when you get here leads to this all day long, or you could just chuck it blind and sit around for the day. Your choice. Depends which book you're reading. Well, there you go. There's another one. Absolutely fantastic action down at Fort Lee. Loving it. There you go. Quick glimpse, because he's full of life, this one. But a nice looking mat. Plenty of water. No harm done. And he'll soon be back with his pals. Now, keep talking about these average yardsticks. That's these yellowy looking things here. They're 12 foot apart. And what you do, you're going to drop your lead at one end of them. Now I tend to figure 8 this because it's easier when you retrieve it. So we're going to go 20 times. We've got one, bit boring I know, and you're amazed I can count to 20. But there you go, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, on 10. I'll make a point here. I watch people doing these with the short little sticks from other companies, and they're walking up and down. You haven't got to. Stay put. The longer sticks is what it's all about, and definitely you'll see as that comes into its own when I take the line off it. So we're on 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, need a calculator now, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 gives me 80 yards, right? So we're going to now, we're going the real clip. There we are, bang on. Couple of 3 times around the clip, which gives it, as you hit it with your lead, a bit of a buffer. So it saves jarring it and damaging the line. Marker elastic. I've done this before for you guys, and we bright orange or bright green. We do 2 types. It's all personal. Bust off a few inches. Now I do it at the spigot so that I can adjust that if I want to and see where I'm adjusting it to. If I start at the rod tip, it gives me less flexibility, certainly for my fishing. There you go, right at the spigot. You want both materials nice and relaxed, because if you pull the elastic, obviously when you let it like that, the loops join together. So we've got a nice big loop there of both materials, 3 times through with the tag end. 1, 2, 3 times. And pull it nice and tight, gently, but pull it tight. It turns white. You will bust off a few times. There you go. We've still got it there though. So we want about 1 inch left on each side. Put that in there. Mark elastic. So now to get it back on the reel, just gently through your fingers so you don't move the knot. You want to take the slack out of it. And then hold your rod in the centre of the poles and quite high and just reel in. Through your fingers though. Now again, with lower poles and not swan-necked poles, should we say, keeping it nice, you're having to do all this with your rod or walk up and down. Perfect bit of kit. There you go, look, no problem whatsoever. I have found though, as I say, looping it around in a figure of 8, definitely it peels off easier. Now look, 3 or 4 minutes, we've now got 80 yards, bang on that shallow bit. There's no excuses really, is there? Spod rod done, 2 of these done, and you're fishing. Half hour in the morning. But there you go, 20 wraps around the poles. We know that's going to drop then, as long as I hit the clip that is, on the 4-foot gravel patch. So, rig tied on, little bag hang on the end. Let's get it back on the spot. There we go. Bang on the money. That'll bring us a bite, I am sure. Right, show you the rig we've been catching these fish on. Dead simple, not just day tickets, just carp fishing in general. Easy to construct, make them on the bank, and here we go. First and foremost, a little curved hook. Love them, needle sharp little thing there. I think it's about a size 8. Suits most lakes. £15 captive peelback, plastic coated. I'm going to nip off about, I don't know, 5 inches off the end of that. And we're going to tie the bait retaining loop on the end of it. There we go, nice and slow. Nice little loop twisted around there. Pop it back through. Try and keep the loop fairly small and tidy. Nice sharp pair of scissors. Now on that, because we're tying the rigs to the uni-swivel thing we're using, tiny little pop-up. Now I know that these will balance down with the next thing that I'm going to add to this, which is something I'm never without, and that is one of our little sight stops. Yellow and pink are working today. It pays to ring the changes. I know it sounds silly, but on a lake like Thorpe Lee, it's the most colour driven lake I've ever fished in my life. So look at that, perfect. Now she'll balance down like that, a nice little flash of colour on top. Off we go. Now we're going to cut off enough to construct our rig. It does straighten out lovely, this stuff, without having to steam it. So now, back to front, it's just a simple knotless knot. We've got, I don't know, about 3.5, 4 inches of strip back still there, so I'm going to just whip this round 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now emphasis here on how simple this rig is and how effective it is, because as I say, I've lost count of how many we've had, and I use this for a lot of me fishing. Not all of it, because some lakes need something a little bit more complex, but this one here doesn't. Now that, you can see how that's going to sit when it just balances down. That is so aggressive. And then you just tie that to your ringed sort of uni-swivel that hangs out of the flat clip. So there you go. They don't come much simpler than that. So you're tying them up, get half a dozen tied up, ready, and when you get down to 2, tie another half a dozen up. Nice, quick, effective, simple. Spodding. Now this bit of kit needs to be more balanced, although that has to be balanced, your rods and reels, just be more balanced than that. Because you can spend hours spodding, or I certainly do, so it's got to be the right weight. Okay, a big heavy beach casting rod, what a lot of people use, is not the way. A nice light reel, nice rod with a bit of power in it, reliable spods. This is our air cage. Pats down nice and light on the surface, empties in a second or two. As long as you lay her down, plop it on the surface, give it a little shake, bang, straight back, she's empty. The flow of water through there on impact is incredible, so she shoots out. And incidentally, I use this for maggots as well. Now looking at that, you'd think it's like a swim feeder, which it is, that maggots would be creeping out of that, but I use this solely for maggots now, and they do not creep out. I was amazed by it, but there you go. Easy load system, as you've seen with the spodding, that is, you're in, scoop it, squash it down, bosh, you're back out there on the spot. It's so much faster than all your dingly dangly bits that come off some of the other spods. Okay, there you go. Reels. It's the Air Range Avid spot reel. I would say slightly different to any other, but it's a lot different. Has no clutch system, which again brings to the weight of the reel. It's a lot lighter. And I've used a lot of dedicated spod reels over the time. This is the fastest, and I can't quote ratios, I'm not into that, but this is by far the fastest spod reel I've ever come across. We've only put one line clip on it, because in all fairness, you only use one, it's all gimmicky stuff. So there you go. Balance your gear out for spodding, because as I said earlier, this is the gear, if you're into spodding and feeding the fish, that's going to be in your hand the longest. Chuck it out there and have a go. Right, spod mixes. Keep it simple. I see lots and lots of these little programs. These are carp. They're not scientists. Give them something they want. Pellet, bit of hemp and corn. The oil in the pellet and the hemp will attract them in any way, and they love it. So what we've got is your average bucket of spod. Tin of hemp and corn. In we go. No rocket science there. Tin of hemp. More of this than the corn, because I want to keep them grubbing about and keep them in the swim for a long time. The yellow stuff will, you know, be mimicked by your little bit of plastic bait or a little yellow pop-up. So 4mm pellet, I tend to use it a lot. Gives them a bit of crunch, and it also softens down nicely, so you can pat it down in your spod, and which gets rid of spod spill. I'm going to mix that in. I've got another bag of pellet yet. You can see it's a reddy brown colour, where I put an earlier bag of the krill pellet in anyway. So we've got a bag, got a kilo of krill pellet, kilo of S pellet, 4mm, 2 tins of particles, and what was left in there from earlier. We've used nearly a whole bucket, and there you go. Now there's no complexity about that at all. Give it a stir in. The earlier stuff that's a bit mushy will help compact it down in the spod, so you get more in it, and you don't get any spod spill at all once the pellet starts mushing up. And there you go. Now that might not seem very appetising to you, but to them out there, that's a Sunday roast, and I love them. Perfect, these little Air Range spods and all, they make very little disturbance when they land, and they empty very fast. So it's quite a quick process. Some of the spods out that I've used, you have to shake them and strike them, and then you still come back with a little bit in the bottom. But we've done alright with these ones. They do what they say. They do exactly what it says on the packet, some would say. Some would say about time. Avid big pits, 12,000cc. How stylish are they, eh? Now I've been using these for a good while now, so these have been proper through the grindstone with me. Love them. Comes with 2 handles, so you've got your wooden choice, or your rubberised one. As I say, your choice. We've got 2 spools, deep one, shallow one. And on the front, we've got a numbered clock dial face, so you can set, when they're on the buzzers, set each reel the same, so it's not guessing games. And you go literally from, say, number 6 to number 10 solid, so you're from free spool to boom, locked up on a fish, as simple as that and as quick as that. There you go, Avid big pits. Right, method feeder fishing. For some reason, and I don't know why, same as me in the past, it hasn't been that popular. Can't imagine why. When you see the amount of big fish, the fish we're catching here, like 20 pounders and that the match anglers catch, this has got to start coming into our angling. So at Avid, we've developed a new flatbed feeder designed at carp angling, not match angling, as to speak. It's got an interchangeable body. The stem, as you can see there, it's got a little tooth on the end. You pull it in, twist around, and it locks up the key. Okay, we'll change that over and show you. We have tried to make it as easy as possible, and there you go. Right, the body comes off, and the body looks like a little beetle actually, but the body then slips back on again, and you turn it, bomb, she's locked in again. So also, before we get onto the loading of it, the safety aspect, because that's locked now, it's just pulled in and she'll run away. So if we do get a break off, the fish hooks up or the feeder catches up, bomb, she'll break away, leaving the fish just to deal with the hook. Now we've got 4 sizes, 2 sizes, 4 weights, 1.5 ounces, 2 ounces, 2.5 and 3. That's obviously unloaded. So loaded on that, you're going to put another, I don't know, a couple of ounces on that maybe. But we need to get this more in our carp fishing. Now I'm going to load it up. It is, I mean, that's how simple it is to set it up. 2.5 inch hook link, single bit of plastic, that'll just sink, so we want it to sit on top of the feeder. I'm going to load it up for you now. Right, to load it, simple as pellet preparation first. It's not straight from the bag. Kilo of 2mm S pellets in there, big spoonful of this sticky stuff. Make it damp, stir it around. It's going to take about 5 minutes to prepare itself, but you'll know when. You squeeze it together, you get a nice big handful of it. Right, first of all, a little sprinkling in the bottom of the press, just to sit the hook bait into. Sit her in there, and then we're going to bring the press right up to full level. The mould, should we call it. There you go. Right, we're right up to the top there. Lay your feeder in the top. A good squeeze down, not going to break anything here. A nice good squeeze down, and then flip it up and just push the press, hold the feeder in the palm of your hand, and it's released. You're not going to get any better presentation than that. A little tip is from the match guys, just prior to casting, damp hand, give it, I'm not going to do it now because that will pull off on my dry hand. Damp hand, give it a squeeze, makes it a bit more solid for your casting. Now there's no excuses, myself included, not to be seeing these being used on the bank this year a bit more often. That, I reckon, will be a bite. That's whizzing nicely, there you go. Just chuck the flatbed feeder out there after setting it all up, and we're off already. So, they are, and they have got a massive part in carp fishing. Awesome. And just don't give up these ones. A little bit of pink plastic on the big flatbed feeder. Nice. Little powerhouses. Spinning reels. That's what we like to hear. Yep. As you already know, we do 2 types of pin down leader, 2 colours, 2 types, 45 pound, 65 pound, unleaded leader. Get it? Right, getting our ears bent at the shows, we've been asked for hook link in the same material. We've added, again in 2 colours, green and a brown, 20 pounds. There you go. Now I'm going to toot that over here. You can see how supple that is. Treat it like any other braided hook link. The main difference is, of course, the obvious one in the name. It sinks like a brick. Pin down hook link. Right, we've had a good few fish off the surface. We'll whiz through the nice simple setup that we use. I've got braided line as my main line, which is coming through the eyes of a lovely 2 pound Tesco core and barbel rod. Now that gives you the springiness on the rod, get away with the braid. That is down to a nice little 20 gram. It's quite a heavy one, but if they're out that bit further, you need to get out there, and if they're in that bit closer, you tow it back to them anyway. So 20 gram Corum feeder controller. Then I've got a uni swivel on there, and also a tiny little tail rubber. So in case of a break off, there you go. Safety in mind. Put that back on there. Down a little uni swivel, ring swivel. I've got 10 pound mono, 4.5 foot of it. A size 12 hook. Now the smaller the better on this, and a little tiny hook does go in and stay in. Again, we've got a soft rod, we've balanced the equipment that we're using. That on a short hair. There's nothing too complex on these prolific venues because we're looking at getting a lot of fish eaten at the same time. It's not one big fish coming up to inspect it, so keep it nice and simple. Little chopped down pop up. Doesn't have to be the same colour as me floating pellets or chum, but I like it to be anyway. So what we're doing is getting a load of greed going on, so a nice simple rig will nail a few of them, and we've had a few. So, right, most of the time we'd like to get these in nice and close to catapult range, but if they're that further out, we've thought of this at Avid as well. Nice little surface spod. Now that will take about 20 pellets stroke chum. Ball sits in there. Caster beyond your area or up wherever the fish are. Boom, on impact, the ball rises, out spills, you've got a nice little spread of bait. Just tease her at the area, skip her back quickly for a recast. Thought with everything, wouldn't we? So there you go. Surface fishing, feed them. Nice balanced bit of kit, and go out and catch some. A group of fish started moving along the margin of this island, and it wasn't a big group of fish actually. It just shows you it's worth having a go, even though there was only a few there. And we've managed to nick one. We've managed to hook one, should I say. First chuck. Like, I don't know if we'll get another chance out of this one, but we've got to get this one in first. Nice soft rod. Chop down, pop up, and we've got a bite straight away. And we've got a grebe sitting on top of the line. That's nice of him. He's out in the open water now, so there are no problems out there other than, like I said earlier with the other rods, unless you get an hook pull. But that is nice to get one. So we've had loads and loads of fish today out on the 4 foot, and it's nice in this cooler evening to do a bit of this. Just it's a bit more active with the rod, see, with the temperature dropping. And on this light gear, they certainly do. They do bolt off. So it's a joy to play them on these light rods. Look at that, perfect. Absolutely perfect. What a fantastic day's fishing. And again, boiling hot. Well worth getting out. And go home tired in a nice way. We've had fish today up to about 23 pounds, although the vast majority have been 17-ish, which is a brilliant average size. Brilliant. There's the float, and there's our fish on the top. Here he is. You just love fishing. Carp fishing or not, whatever fishing. And who knows, we might get a chance for a couple more like this evening. They're still eating, they're going up bananas out there now because their mate's got an hook in him. I'm proper mopping them pellets up now. Oh, keeps pinging off his dorsal. On this light gear it feels like heart attack time. Such a nice balance of tackle to play fish on. Weird really, and all because the birds, we started feeding and the birds weren't a problem, and usually on any lake you feed surface baits, so it was almost an omen that we were going to get a bite, and a bite we got. Get yourself down here, and hopefully it won't be much longer and we can get him out. It's not a big fish, but it doesn't really matter, does it? This is what we're here for. The fun of the fight. Although we've got to be fair, all the time you're playing these fish, constantly staring out at the fact all his mates are eating the pellets. They're so powerful, these little fish. We can trick him up to the surface. No, he tricked us then. Brilliant. What a lovely way to catch carp. Come on. We are sort of winning. Oh yes. Keep his head up. And there you go. We've got a nice little mirror off the top. Absolutely brilliant. Right. Well, what a hectic 24-hour session that has been. It just goes to show you, whatever the weather, hot or cold, still worth getting out. That little bit of extra homework, push it for the extra mile, wrap it around the yardsticks, feed them, and the results are there to be had. Nice to finish on such a beautiful little carp. So there you go. Hope you've enjoyed it. See you next time.